everyone. Thank you for joining us at Dinner at Your Table with Zee the Cook. I'm here today for my 4th episode of Dinner at Your Table, and I have a very special guest to share with you today. If you haven't seen my post earlier today, my special guest is Zeinab, who is also known as Zee to the community. If you know Zee, you know that she gives the best hugs, like I mentioned. She's also a survivor of 3 open heart surgeries. She has defeated so many odds in her life, and she's come out strong and so amazing. She has a passion for cooking. She's been my student for 4 years now. So Zee, you were 17 when you first started with me, right? So when Zee started with me, she was 17. Right now she's 21. And 4 years ago, when I started my journey, I was doing it from home, and that's when she came to my house and she started to do some private lessons, and she started to learn how to cook, and she started to cook for her family at home. She loves to bake too, and she likes to get really creative. So since the beginning of my journey at Zee the Cook, Zee has been attending all the camps, right? Summer camp, winter camp, spring break camp. Anytime school's out, she's on board. She's here in the morning, she's making her own breakfast, she's making her own lunch in the afternoon. She goes to the pantry sometimes and she says, Zee, can I just make my own dish? And I'll be like, sure, of course you can. You know, I really trust her to get creative. So Zee, go ahead and tell everyone, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
And we actually had such a popular response to having her as a guest today. I love all your comments on Instagram, especially. Everyone was saying, I love Zee, Zee's the best. You know, she's already had such a great impact on our community, and she continues to have a great impact on our community by showing others that no matter what obstacles you might be going through, no matter what, you know, challenges or health challenges, it should never stop you from achieving your dreams and from doing what you love and getting out of the bed in the morning and, you know, conquering the world, you know? I mean, if I was in your shoes, right, or if somebody else was in your shoes, Zee, like, it would be so hard for us to have that mental strength to get up every morning and say, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna, you know, she goes to school. So tell everyone, what school do you go to?
Hype.
Yeah, so Zee goes to Hype. She's part of the adult, what is it called? The adult education program. We're right here, Zee, okay? So we have a few cameras on Zee. She's so popular that we have 3 cameras on her. But Zee's part of the Hype adult program. She goes to school. She likes to go work out, right? So she likes fitness, riding bikes. She loves her family so much. She loves to vacation. Tell everyone where you love to vacation, Zee.
Florida.
Okay, Florida. Where else have you been? You tell me. Come on. Las Vegas, California. And I know all this because, again, she's been on this journey with me for so long. So every time she goes on vacation, she comes back and shares amazing stories with me. So we told you a little bit about Zee. She's a little shy today. It's okay. She's going to loosen up after we get cooking because this is her zone, and once she starts cooking, she feels great. So we're making, what are we making, Zee? Tell everyone. Chicken. What kind of chicken are we making? We're making super crispy tenders, right? So this is an amazing finger food, right? So you want, you know, there's a big game coming up during Thanksgiving. You know, you want to make something ahead of time for all the kids to enjoy. You don't have to order out. You can just do it at home. It's so easy. It's so much fun to make. And, you know, it won't even cost you anything, really. Basically, the ingredients you're using, we have some low-fat cultured buttermilk. So the first step to this chicken is getting like a chicken breast. She has her gloves on, I'm gonna put my gloves on. And basically, you're gonna be cutting the chicken into strips, just like you would order chicken strips. So you're gonna get like the chicken breast and just slice it until you get it into strips, or you can even purchase it and it says chicken tenders, right? So you can get it sliced in advance if you want from the butcher. Today we have it both ways. I've already pre-made a chicken tender dish already marinated in some buttermilk. So the reason we're using buttermilk is because it tenderizes the chicken. It really makes it tender and soft, and you know, when you're chewing into it, you feel like it's so delicious. So it's been marinating in this buttermilk for a ½ hour. And I also added a tiny bit of pepper and a pinch of salt in here with the milk. So while it's sitting in there, it's right over here. These are the kinds of ingredients we're going to be adding to the flour. So this is flour. we're going to be adding, again, I already added salt, so I don't think I need to add any more salt to the flour, but if again, with your feelings, you're gonna use your feelings to cook, right? So Zee, say them with me, okay? So what's the first one? Paprika.
Paprika.
Yeah, paprika, right? So paprika has a gorgeous red color to it. It's gonna give that flavor like a kind of a smack, you know? So if you've ever eaten, like a spicier chicken crispy, it's gonna give it a little bit of that spice, but not too much. So if you wanna make it for the kids, it's fine. You can still use paprika, just put like a dash in there. So paprika is gonna give it a beautiful golden color. So when you see that chicken and it's all done and it has that golden color is coming from a little bit of paprika. And then Zee, say it out loud, okay? This is
Pepper.
black pepper, perfect. So we're gonna just put a little bit of black pepper. We have a little bit of baking soda. Good, baking soda. And we have some garlic powder. Perfect. So we have garlic powder. These are all the powders. They have amazing flavors. A lot of like that popping in your, that pop of flavor in your mouth, right? So are you ready to cut this chicken with me? Okay, perfect. So I have my knife, you have yours, we have our gloves on. We're gonna be working with this chicken. We're just gonna show you how you would want to cut that chicken up, okay? So, like I had mentioned, we have some already pre-cut. They're thinner, so that when you're frying them, it doesn't take forever to fry. If it's thick, it's gonna take a long time. So make them nice and thin. Zee's gonna take the thinner ones and cut them straight down the middle so that they become like strips, right? So pull up, yep, all the way up. Push, 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 all the way up, yeah. Is it working? Let's see. Oh, a little bit harder. Okay, perfect. So here you go. And then I have like that thicker chicken. So I'm gonna show you on the breast. It's pretty big, right? It's really thick actually. So I'm going to turn this one chicken breast into like 4 tenders, okay? So watch how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go straight down the middle. So straight down the middle. And then I'm gonna turn. So here we go. So right here, it was together, right? It was together. I went straight down the middle, and then when you turn it to the side, it's nice and thick. So again, you're gonna go down the middle again, just like that. Perfect. So now I have 1. I can even turn this into, 2, right? So now I can actually make it into 2. So now we have a nice smaller amount of chicken. And then here we go, another one that can create 2. So we're gonna go straight down the middle. Boom. How's yours? Oh, perfect, Zee. Yep, keep going, Zee. Keep taking more and more chicken. And go ahead, see these strips? These are gonna be delicious and crispy strips of chicken, straight down the middle. And then if any of my students are watching who are younger or teenagers, when we're cutting chicken, everyone, you have to always remember, we're not just gonna chop it, right? We're gonna go back and forth. So when you're cutting a protein, you always wanna put the knife down and go back and forth, just like this. And then right here, we have these strips, right? So we have these strips. And remember, I'm still working with the same exact 1 chicken breast. Look how many strips it's gonna make. I'm gonna cut it down the middle, and then down the middle again, and again. All right, let me tell you how many chicken strips I got out of 1 chicken breast, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chicken tenders out of 1 chicken breast, okay? This is why I'm telling you it's so much easier and cheaper for you to do this from home. Go buy that chicken breast, slice it up yourself, season it yourself and just fry it, or you can even bake it. So if you aren't into frying, it's cool. And my sister never fries at home, so every time she needs to fry, she either comes to my studio or to my house and she fries there. But if you want to go with the healthier portion, I'll explain that towards the end of the video, okay? So we don't get off track. So right now, here we go. That 1 breast turned into all these slices of chicken tenders. Zee's working on her own chicken tenders, and here they are. They're strips. Perfect, Zee, good job. And so I'm gonna take a few too and help her out. I'm gonna go right down the middle. You know what, Zee, I think 1 time down the middle should be good, right? So 1 time down the middle. Zee, tell everybody about school. Like, what do you guys do at school? Tell us about what kind of program you're in.
What I'm at.
Yeah.
What?
It's okay, you can tell me. So what kind of activities do you guys do in school? Tell me.
I go to Hype and I go to Target.
What? To Target? I love Target. All right, listen, if I can go to Target or if I go to that school, I'm gonna have to go to that school. If they take, do they take you to Target?
Yeah.
Oh, what? All right, if your school takes you to Target, then you're at the right school, right? So she goes to Target, and what did you buy from Target?
Everything.
Anything and everything, right?
Yeah.
You go to Target to grab some what? Some napkins or some lotion, and then all of a sudden you're what? You're leaving there with how much stuff? A whole cart of stuff?
Yeah.
Perfect, Zee, you're doing such a good job, as always. So here we go, we have our strips right here. So if it's this thick, like I would use this for like a chicken escalope, if it was like this size, but because again we're making chicken tenders, we want it to just be a little bit smaller, so when you're frying them, it's easy to go through the oil and just turn the chicken. If it's too thick or if it's too big, it's gonna splatter everywhere. It's not really, it's kind of dangerous that way. So make them thinner and smaller, and then set them aside. And then remember, once you set them aside, you're gonna pour this buttermilk right on top and like let it marinate in there. So I just wanted to demonstrate the way we cut the chicken for this dish. The recipe, you can find it at zenacook.com. You go to the drop-down menu and you go to recipes, and you just type in the search, just write down the word super, because I believe I called it super crispy chicken tenders, and you'll find it, okay? So, and then also, by the way, the recipe also explains the two methods, the frying method and using flour, and the method of using breadcrumbs and putting the chicken in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So, check that recipe out. I promise you will love it. Your kids will love it. Let them put some gloves on and help you in the kitchen. It'll be a lot of fun. And look what we did. What did we do, Zee? What did we put on here?
Table cover.
Yeah, so we put a table cover. That way, whatever mess happens, it's okay. Let the mess go on the table cover and just wrap it up at the end, right? So now we have all this chicken. Oh my God, excellent job, Zee. Perfect. So now we got all this chicken. I'm gonna take it from you so I can put these boards on the side. And I'm gonna set this chicken aside. Now we can take our gloves off. Yep. Perfect. We can put it on that bag. Excellent. Right there. Good job. All right, so we're gonna show you now the next step. So we cut the chicken up, we got the size we need, right? Good job. So now we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna start cracking these eggs, okay? The first step, you're gonna get 3 eggs and you're gonna crack them. We have a little bit more than 3 eggs because just in case we need more, I don't think we will, but we'll see. So Zee, will you do me the honors of cracking these eggs for us? I'm gonna move these boards out of the way, and these knives, because we're done using them. And we're gonna set them right here. And you can put the shell right on this bag, okay? All right. Perfect. Nice, Zee, good. Perfect, okay, good. I need another one, please. Thank you. So when our students are here, our kids students and our teen students, we sing a song. Do you remember that song, Zee? 1, 2, 3, crack that egg. And no one is allowed to crack the egg unless we sing the song. So it's a lot of fun. You can hear the whole studio shake and everyone says, 1, 2, 3, crack that egg, right? So here's the third one. So she's putting the 3 eggs in here. We're gonna be dipping, right? So when we're dipping, we're gonna be using these tongs. And you can go in and then it opens up and then back out and it stays closed. This is the cleaner way to do it. You can even put gloves on and do it with your hands, right? You can dip the chicken, make it fun, put it in the flour, put it in the eggs. So that's always a lot of fun, right? Perfect, so now we have our eggs in here. You just give it a little turn. You wanna wash your hands and come back? Okay, go ahead. So Zee's gonna go wash her hands and she'll be right back. And Zee, when you do come back, will you grab a fork for me? Thank you so much. So we're gonna use the fork to kind of whisk that egg together. And now we're gonna get our table ready for dipping and battering up your chicken. So here's our eggs, we're gonna put them on the side. Here's our chicken. Okay, so this has been sitting in some buttermilk for a half hour. It's tenderizing that chicken. Buttermilk can be found at any grocery store, most likely. I did go to one and they didn't have any, and then I went to another one and they did have. So buttermilk, you know, it should be accessible at Kroger, at GFS, any supermarket that you could find. Zee's grabbing that fork so she can whisk those eggs. And then we're gonna get this flour ready, right guys? So here's the flour, okay? Again, the recipe will tell you how much to use. I'm kind of winging it. I don't normally measure when I cook. So I'm looking at how much chicken I have and I'm determining how much flour. Once I put the flour in here, guess what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab those seasonings that I talked to you about, and I'm going to add them to the flour for flavor, okay? So our flour is here. Here's our paprika, right? We talked about our paprika. You guys have to throw that paprika right here into the flour to give it that color that we talked about, okay? And again, the recipe will tell you some measurements, but depending on how much chicken you're making, you're gonna have to change those measurements, guys. So make sure you follow your heart when you're cooking. Then we're gonna take some black pepper. Remember, I already put a little bit in there, but I'm gonna add actually a little bit more in here and a little bit of salt. Let me see, Zee, how that's going. Perfect, that's perfect. So perfect. So we'll set this down. Let's put our eggs right here. So what do we have, Zee? Paprika, some salt, some black pepper. Will you do the baking soda and garlic powder? So again, cleanliness is really important. We wash our hands after we crack the eggs. We wash our hands in between certain steps, especially when we're working with chicken, right? That's perfect. I think a little bit more. Let's go with a little bit more garlic powder. Give it that extra delicious flavor. And then here we have our baking soda. Perfect. Just pour that right in there. And that baking soda is gonna give the chicken tenders that firmness, like that extra crisp, right? So you're biting into it and it's extra crunchy and so delicious. All right, so now we're gonna give this a little mix, right? All together. And we're gonna look at our flour, right? If we don't feel like it's changed color at all, we're gonna add a little bit more seasoning and put some more color in there. And then a little bit of black pepper, a little bit more of this garlic. Okay, I think now we're good. Now we are good. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're 4 times, guys. 4 times we're gonna be dipping.
Question from Facebook.
We have a question from Facebook. Okay, go ahead.
Do you wash the chicken in warm water to stick better when using flour, or just cold water?
Prior to, I'm sorry, one more time.
Prior to putting the chicken in the flour, do you think it, or you put it in warm water or cold water?
No water.
No water.
Buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
Yes. So everybody, the chicken sits in buttermilk for a half hour before you start dipping it. So you don't need any water, no water at all. You just need buttermilk. Buttermilk is gonna act as the liquid that's tenderizing your chicken. And guess what? It's the base that's gonna help the flour stay on the chicken. Okay, so that's what we're using. No water, just buttermilk and egg.
Did you mention GFS? Somebody's asking us.
Yeah, what about it? Oh, it's just a store where I found the buttermilk today. Yeah, so I went to a first store, I won't mention which one, but I went to a first one, they didn't have buttermilk, so I had to stop at another one. I was just mentioning that I was there, and I was actually buying some kale, and I was glad they had some buttermilk. So, okay, Zee, are you ready? All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate the first one. Zee will do the next one, right? So here we go. Here's our first chicken tender, everybody. It was sitting in the buttermilk. All right. So it's gonna go into the egg, into the flour mixture that we just put together. I'm gonna flip it over with these tongues like we talked about. Flip and turn, and then guess what? I'm not gonna stop here because I want it to be extra crunchy and extra delicious. I'm gonna go back into my egg again, and I'm gonna give it another coating. So we're double coating, okay? We're double coating. And look at how I'm using this, right? To give it a bath. So when my kids and students and the teenagers are here, we always say, give the chicken a bath, right? So we say, give it a bath. Now look at this amazing chicken. It's gonna be so crispy and so delicious. So here it is. Now Zee, it's your turn. So show everyone what you're gonna do with yours. So it's gonna be so yummy. Mirna, will you put the heat on, please, on high heat for the oil? Thank you. Perfect. So we're gonna throw that in there and flip it. Yep, flip it over, Zee. You got this. let it fall. You know what? Yeah, let it fall and flip, and then let it fall again. Let it fall, yeah. Perfect. Yes, we gave it a bath. Now dip it in the shampoo, right? The flower shampoo. We're gonna go like this, and then, yeah, and then let's cover it together. Me and you. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, Zee, this is all yours. Take it back into that egg bath. Woo! Second one. We flip. No fan, no fan. High heat on the skillet. Yep, perfect. And then right over here. Oh my God, you guys, I can already taste them. They're gonna be so delicious. And our camera crew here, they're gonna get to enjoy it. They are lucky. And it was actually the camera crew's request to have chicken, because I was so healthy these last few weeks doing all the healthy foods. They had to ask for something crispy and greasy. So this is our crispy and greasy. Oh my gosh, Zee, that is perfect. All right, put it right over here. Is the high heat on the oil? It's on high heat? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, let's do this together. Ready? You take one and I'll take one. Grab our chicken out of the buttermilk, throw it in the egg, throw it back into this flour.
Two.
Oh yeah, two at the same time, whatever. Whatever happens, happens, right? We're gonna get two of them. We're gonna give it a bath and flip it. We're gonna put it back inside that egg bath. Flip it over. And let me show everybody. We're gonna flip it over right over here. We're giving it a bath in that egg. And we're gonna throw it back into the flour again. Was that your first coat? So no?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and put it in this flour. And everybody, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see this on camera, but as you go, your flour is gonna go less and less. So that's why I have extra flour and extra seasoning here, because I'm gonna go ahead and add more if I need to. So we're just gonna, I kind of eyed it. I think it's gonna be perfect, but just in case, oops, that was my second one. So you go back into the eggs, right? So I'm gonna take this one out for you, put it right here. So Zee, tell me about your vacations. When you go on an airplane, do you enjoy flying?
No.
No? Aww. So you don't enjoy being on an airplane? What's your favorite way to travel? Like an airplane, a car, a train, a car? So you've been to Chicago in a car? Yeah, that's cool. You know what I want to try? I want to try going on a train. I haven't been on a train yet. Have you? You have? How was the experience?
Good.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So your whole family got to sit down together and enjoy the train ride together. Yeah, I like that idea, because now nobody has to drive and you don't have to worry about somebody telling you to get off your phone. There's a shout out to my husband. I love you, Shadi. But that would be so cool, right? So going on a train, and how long, do you remember how long it took you to get to? Did you guys go to Chicago on a train, or where? Was it Chicago? Yeah, it was Chicago. That's awesome. I'm gonna give mine one more. You wanna go right here? Perfect. So no airplane, you like going in cars. Did you like the train, you said? You like the train, okay, good. So I still need to do, I think, train and maybe a helicopter. That would be pretty cool to try one day. And what else? How else do we travel? Boats, right? Have you been on a cruise before?
I tell Mama I want to go on one, and her tells me no.
Oh boy. Maybe Mama doesn't like cruises, right? Who knows? But maybe me and you will take our first cruise together. Oh, that would be so cool, guys. We're best friends. Don't be jealous. All right, there we go. So at this point, while we're dipping, we already started heating the oil, okay? So you can do the same thing. You want your oil to be hot just the way you would fry some French fries. Oop, 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 oop. Let's give it some more flour, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, you know what, Zee? I think we need a little bit more for this last one. And I think we'll need to get this one. So you go here, and I'll go ahead and put some of the seasoning in here. All right, everyone, if you're watching, the way you test the oil to make sure it's ready, you get a little drop of water and you just let it sizzle. Once it sizzles in the oil, you're ready to go ahead and use it. Okay, perfect, Zee. Make it a little bit more. Guys, what I'm gonna do, because I feel like it, is after we went ahead and seasoned all this chicken, I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle right on top a little bit of each of my seasonings. Again, we have black pepper, paprika, garlic powder, baking soda, and
Has Zee ever been on a cruise?
So Zee has not been on a cruise.
I want to go on one.
She wants to go on one. All right, perfect, Zee. Here, you know what? Try to get some of that right there. Perfect. And I'm gonna take this one. Nice. All right. I hear the oil sizzling, guys, so I think we're gonna have to hurry up. So I'm gonna help Zee out. So she's been on a train. She's been on an airplane. She traveled by car. I would say one more dip in there. And she just has not been on a cruise yet. So she's hoping that would be another step in her traveling life. All right, next time you travel, here, put it right here. Next time you travel, Zee, I'm telling you, we gotta plan some kind of trip together because I need you to kidnap me, right? You can't leave me here by myself anymore at summer camp. She left me for about a week and I was like, oh no, I can't survive without Zee. And she would come here every day during summer camp. And what would you do, Zee? You would cook, right? You would help me with all the students. She's a great assistant. We had so much fun. All right, you ready? Let's go fry this together. Is everyone ready? My camera crews? All right, let's go. So we're gonna take this. We're gonna take this with us. All right, so our oil's right here, right? It's, you know, to be safe, you never wanna put the oil in the front. You wanna put it all the way in the back where the fan can just take it all up. And you can grab like a larger fork, right? And just drop it in slowly. And there we go, we know it's ready. So Zee, I'll let you do the rest. So everyone can see that it's starting to sizzle right over here. We put it in the deep fryer. You could avoid, if you wanted to avoid a deep fryer, you could do it lightly, so one side at a time. You just want to make sure that you check the chicken by slicing it in half and making sure that it's thoroughly cooked, right? Nothing pink on the inside. You want to make sure it's white on the inside, and that's how you know your chicken's ready. We're really hoping that our chicken comes out to be golden, really golden, with all the beautiful peppers that we put in there.
Question.
Yes.
What side dish you like serving with fried chicken?
Of course, French fries, everything fried, right? No, I'm just joking. You know what? Of course, I think many of you are going to agree with me that crispy chicken is really delicious on top of a salad, a really healthy salad, so that you don't feel as guilty. So I love making like a kale and quinoa salad, and I can just throw my tenders on top of the salad and eat it with some ranch, right? And some buffalo dip, so like barbecue sauce, like a barbecue sauce. Other good side dishes with chicken tenders, I would say, is like some coleslaw, you know, something light, because chicken on its own as a crispy chicken, it's kind of like the champion of the meal, you know? You can't really side it with something that's gonna trump it, okay? You want it to be the champion, and then you want those lettuces and soft seasonings and dips to kind of accent the chicken. So Zee did a great job here putting the chicken inside here. And again, chicken tenders is made more for a finger food, okay? So you have like grape leaves on a tray, you have tenders on a tray, you know, all these like delicious finger foods. And you know, you can have it like on a platter. And the way that you would leave the chicken warm, let's say you have guests coming over for the big game, right? For football or whatever big game you have. Hi, Zee, come over here. So let's say you have guests coming over, but you don't want to be frying when they're there. What I suggest is you make this chicken, put it in an aluminum tray, and make sure you are lining it with paper towel, and throw it in your oven on 250. On 250, it's just enough to keep it nice and warm, not to overcook it. And also make sure that I would say you can cover it and just make some holes in the aluminum foil so it can breathe a little bit. So yeah, so then when your guests are there, then right away take the tray out of the oven. My ovens also have something called warm and hold. So you can also press warm and hold, and it'll just keep your food nice and warm and crispy.
I think Shadi is hungry. He's saying he's gonna eat mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay, mashed potatoes, right, corn. Oh my God, Zee, come see how crispy this looks.
He said Zee's a pro at frying.
Woo! Look at that, Zee. Zee is a pro at frying. Look at that, Zee. Will you come flip them over for me?
And Shadi is a pro at eating.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So Zee is a pro at frying, and Shadi is a pro at eating. We got that down last week, right? He admitted it, you guys. We're not talking about him. He admitted it. He's like, I just want to eat. I just want to enjoy the food, right? So, perfect, Zee. So everyone, really quick, while Zee is doing this, it's reminding me of what I told you earlier, which is your tenders should be small, not too small, but on the smaller end, because as Zee flips them over, it's so easy. If they were too big, it's going to like really be very hard for you to keep them nicely separated. So let's talk about the healthier version, okay? So the healthier version of these tenders is you can use breadcrumbs instead of flour. Breadcrumbs, I can show you while you're watching Zee. I have, for example, these plain breadcrumbs, so you can use no cholesterol. There's no like, these plain breadcrumbs can be seasoned as well. So you can either get seasoned breadcrumbs and then add more seasoning. I would suggest that you do, or plain breadcrumbs and, yes, we're good. So, or plain breadcrumbs and just add some, you know, some of your favorite seasonings. If your favorite seasoning is Cajun, you can put Cajun seasoning in your breadcrumbs or your flour, and then you come out with Cajun crispy chicken, right? So any specific flavor you're looking for, Asian, Indian, anything like, you know, Mexican, use the right kind of seasoning to transform that flavor. And the flavor we're getting today, by the way, is, I don't know if any of you have ever tried the KFC batter. You can purchase it at like different stores. It's very similar to the KFC seasonings. So this one has like that kick to it, and it's going to be really delicious. Yeah, so again, we were talking about the healthier version. You use breadcrumbs, and then put the chicken after you dipped it all together. Put it in the oven for 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. Flip halfway. I believe on 375 should be more than enough. Okay, guys. So that's the other route that you can take, and it can still come out crispy. Not as crispy as frying, let's all admit. Not as crispy as frying, but it's enough, you know? If there's any other questions while we're here live, please go ahead and ask us. We'll be happy to answer any questions. And how you know that the chicken is ready, you're gonna keep waiting for that golden color. So the more I look at this chicken, it started off very, very light, and now it's starting to go orange, and then it's gonna go from orange to like a golden burgundy type of color, right? So, and if you ever want to test it, you can steal one out of there, slice it in half, and then you know you're ready to go.
Can you air fry it?
Oh, I think you can. I've never tried it. I'm not gonna lie, I've never tried it. I don't own an air fryer. If you do, let me know, please. Inbox me, call me, 313-414-2301. I would love to know. So if you want to be that person who tests it and lets me know, I would really love that. I'm very old school, you guys, by the way. I'm very old school. Like, I don't shop for anything to go with like shortcuts. I wish I did. I just am not into that. I do everything by hand. I chop all my vegetables. I don't use any of those like choppers or anything. I am like so old school. It takes longer that way, but I don't know. That's just my ways, you know, my technique. How's it going? Good? Perfect. So I think it takes about a full 6 to 7 minutes frying. If the again, it depends on how you slice your chicken. So the thickness will depend on the time will depend on the thickness of your chicken. And again, if you had chicken on the bone, like chicken drumsticks, it's gonna take about a half hour. So it takes a long time when the chicken is on the bone to go fully through and cook all the way through. So these are actually looking good, huh? There's another way that we do the chicken, crispy chicken. It doesn't come out as crispy, but you can also get the chicken breast and dip it into some mayo. And then from the mayo, you dip it into breadcrumbs or panko crumbs, and then you can fry it or you can bake it. So same concept, but mayo would be your base instead of the buttermilk and egg. It would be mayonnaise, so you can get mayonnaise and bread.
Can this recipe be cooked in the oven instead of deep frying it?
Yeah, so we just talked about that. You know, we just talked about how if you don't want to fry it or if you don't fry at home, you can put the chicken in the oven, but use breadcrumbs instead of flour, okay? So you're not going to use flour, you're going to use breadcrumbs, you're going to season your breadcrumbs, and you're going to use the same technique that we just used. Throw it in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes and flip halfway. Again, our recipe is at zeethecook.com. And it shares both techniques, the frying technique and the baking technique. So you have both options available. So let's see how these are looking, Zizi. Can I check? And look, everyone, we use like literally the exact amount of flour that we really needed. So I would say go slow. As you go, you add flour and seasoning as you go. Oh, my bunny is making a bunch of noises over there. All right, so I think he wants some chicken tenders. Do you hear him? Yeah. He smells that chicken. Oh my God, you guys, these are gonna be so good, I promise you. So good. Let me show you what it looks like.
Somebody is asking, are we invited to taste it?
You are more than welcome to come. Actually, oh my gosh, you know what? I need to have like a fried chicken party. This is how excited I am about this. Look at these delicious chickens. Oh my gosh, so yummy. We're gonna actually probably dip this into some barbecue sauce, but you can make your own sauce too if you're into making sauces. I love making my own dip sauces. Look how yummy this looks, delicious. Do we have a question?
No, someone from Amsterdam said thanks for sharing all the recipes. She loved
Oh, thank you, Amsterdam. What's up? What time is it in Amsterdam? Probably the middle of the night, and they're watching chicken videos, right? Fried chicken videos. Okay, oh my gosh, look at this one. Yum. So do you guys see how like this the flour and the egg being double dipped gives it that extra crunch and the extra layer of crispiness, right? So it's gonna be so good. Your kids will love this. Don't like, I'm not, you know, of course, I mean, last minute you can of course order out, but if you have time, just go ahead and make it with them and then you take over the stove. Don't even let them near it, but you just go ahead and do this. It won't take a long time. God bless you, Zizi. Are you excited? Are you happy to be here? Do you want to dip this into some ranch or barbecue sauce? Both? Oh, I'm gonna put both. Which one? Ranch. Oh my gosh, ranch is so good. I know. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're gonna take one out and test it, right? I want to show everyone how we're gonna test that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this right here. I'm gonna take one of my thicker ones, right? So go ahead and look for the thickest chicken you might have in here. This is one of them. And I'm gonna bring it right out here. I'm gonna grab a knife and my fork. And then look, we're gonna go right down the middle and see what's happening with our chicken. Okay everyone, they are ready. So once you go to the center, you see how it's smoking. It's really nice. It's a beautiful white color right there. There's no pink. You just want to make sure. So this is one of the thicker ones. If this one's ready, it means the rest are ready. Okay, so we're actually going to test this, the flavor, and just make sure that it tastes yummy. Okay, it's pretty hot, so. And then I do want to go ahead and plate it so I can show you the final of how they all look together. You can always garnish this with like a little bit of like parsley, just a little bit of parsley as a garnish to give it that pretty green topping flavor.
Oh yeah, it is. It's 2 a.m. in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay. Wow. Thanks for joining us at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, so good. All right, Zizi, you want to try this? Here, Zizi. Very good, you guys. I'm gonna grab that dip so I can plate my plate and then show you how the dip would look right next to it. Careful, it's very hot. All right. So because they're done, it's okay. You can give it like maybe 20 more seconds, and then will you turn that off for me? Right when this beeps. Sounds good. Let me grab that dip.
How does it taste? Good?
Yeah.
Thumbs up?
All right, everybody. You know what, Zizi? You can turn it off, and will you carefully put it right on that plate for us? So, yep, turn it right off. Perfect. And then, let me move these out of the way. And you know what? We're going to use this. Okay? Remember, carefully go up, let the oil fall off the chicken, and then throw it right on the plate. All right, you got this. Go ahead. And everybody, make sure you're lining your plate with the paper towel, like we talked about. Uh-oh. All right, there we go. I think we may have needed a little more salt. It's my fault, but we'll add a little bit then. All right, go right there. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Yep, keep going. Right here. Good job, Zee. Nice. Put them straight on the napkins. Don't mind that. All right. We need to get more ranch, it seems. It's a favorite around here. All right. So, and you know what? The thought came to mind, everybody. The thought came to mind that you can actually drizzle some grated Parmesan cheese on top. I think it would taste really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and brush a little bit on there while it's still nice and warm. Very good. Perfect. So this is a little bit of Parmesan cheese being put right on top. And we have our sauces. We have our barbecue sauce and our ranch sauce. Are we ready to go back to our table? All right, perfect. So let's go back. Oh my God, that looks good, huh? All right, take that with you. I'm gonna grab some forks. Yum. Okay, so we're gonna move everything out of our station really quick. Perfect. All right, everyone, here is our final product. Doesn't it look so crunchy and so delicious? It's very, very yummy. And you know what? It's gonna be right hot off the oven, so if you guys wanna make this right before you eat it, it's even better. So for this upcoming Thanksgiving, we are gonna have some fun shows coming up for Thanksgiving. This could be one option if you have kids, a lot of kids coming to the party who are maybe picky eaters. You can just go ahead and, you know what you can do? You can even do all the batter and everything and then set it in the refrigerator until you're ready to fry. So you don't have to do it all at once. You can do all the dipping and everything on your own the night before, the morning of. It's perfectly fine. Set it on a tray, cover it, and leave it in the refrigerator until you're ready to cook. So that saves you a lot of time in the kitchen, okay?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how amazing does it taste?
Oh, on a scale of 1 to 10, Zee, what do you give this?
Good.
Very good?
So 10, Zee? She's eating, she's busy eating.
She's busy eating. She's not giving you numbers right now. This is very good. Okay, guys. I need my hands, right? This is a finger food. Zee's like, I am not listening to any of you right now. Okay, so here we go. Let's smile together, Zee. Hey. Yummy. Crispy chicken. So good. All right, everyone, so really quick, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday at 7 p.m. I have a very special guest who I cannot announce who it is yet, but I will announce it very soon. Just waiting on a few things, a few details for confirmations. It's really exciting. I cannot wait, and I hope it works out. So I really am excited to be here every Tuesday at 7 with you. Keep me posted if there's anything you want to see in the future, you want to see me make. Again, I do have like a half-hour time frame, so anything you feel like I can demonstrate or whip up for you, please let me know. You can inbox me, text me, call me anytime. We host classes here at Zee the Cook. We host birthday parties, private parties. We have 4 corporate events coming up in November where a lot of employees are coming together to do fun team building activities. So that's always fun if you want to do that with your work team. Again, we have our kids' birthday parties. We have our Halloween party coming up next week, the day of Halloween. It's going to be right after school. So we're going to be offering, I didn't tell anyone yet, so this is my first announcement. we're going to be offering a healthy lunch before you take your kids trick-or-treating, okay? So they finish school, take them home, get them in their costume, bring them to Zee the cook. I will feed them, I will take care of them for you while you go and do your own thing, and then come back here at 7 p.m. to pick them up and take them out for a nice fun trick-or-treating. And this way, if it's raining outside, at least they did something fun and they don't have to be stuck at home not being able to trick-or-treat. They can still come to Zee the cook in their costumes and have a great time eating and making desserts and getting candy bags here. And I know Zizi's gonna join me this Friday for our teens only event. Our teens only event is this Friday from 5 to 8. We would love to have you. And yeah, so thanks everyone. Thank you.
Will
so
there be
much.
a haunted house on the day of Halloween?
There is going to be a haunted house on the night of Halloween at Zee the cook. Yeah, so the after school, the 3-hour after school, the first hour is going to be us eating and cooking together and baking. And the last 2 hours, we're going to transform the studio into a fun haunted house. And all the students who are here are going to be part of that haunted house. So when the parents come to pick up the kids, we're going to be popping out and scaring those parents. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If there's any other questions, please let us know. And thank you, Zizi. Any last words? Do you want to tell anyone anything? Are you sure? Are you excited to eat this chicken? All right, say everyone, thank you.
Bye.
Say thank you so much, everyone. Zizi's so shy, you guys. I'm going to bring her back soon, I promise. Thanks, everyone.